Okay. I really make these videos for myself, and if anyone watches them, that's great, but I have very, very little hopes that um, they're ever going to be watched by anyone but myself. Um, so these are just therapeutic for me. So I just want to talk about my most recent toxic relationship and things I found out. Um, First and foremost, this person that I will call Trevor, I loved Trevor. I don't know what it was about him, but I loved him so much. I still do. I haven't talked to him, seen him, spoken to him, sent him a smoke signal, nothing. Since probably July 11th, somewhere in there. And I think about him every day. I pine over him a little bit, but it's getting better. But I'm really resisting the urge to want to reach out to him. I don't even know if he would respond because everything was so shitty. So just let me tell you the story of what happened with me and Trevor. Oh, a Facebook memory popped up too from a year ago when things were really good. So I had met him on Plenty of Fish, and I didn't have high hopes. I didn't really like him at first. I was like, who's this dude wearing the cut off things right here, baseball shirt? And I had just gotten back from San Diego, and I was leaving again for, where was I going? South Carolina for a job. And I was only going to be gone a week. And while I was away, I was like, I kind of like this dude. I liked his swagger. He had a bad boy kind of feel to him. So I had gotten back from South Carolina. I texted him on the plane, and I asked him if he would be interested in a physical only relationship. And he said to me, absolutely. However, you and I will not have just a physical relationship. We will talk. But we can try. And I said, oh, okay, I'm pretty certain I can handle just a physical relationship. So I met him later that night. And we were together, but it was anything but spectacular. It was awkward and weird, and I was like, this is not for me. But still, I liked him. I liked his swagger. I liked so much about him. And then he came in to my house, did my floors, and I can't remember if there were times between that, but we were together we were like rabbits. Constantly. We had such an attraction to one another. He was attracted to my intelligence and book smart. I'm kind of book smart. And I was just attracted to his bad boy, his swagger, and he wanted to help me and do all these things, and we could not get enough of each other. And I got scared, like I knew I would. And I had told him this. I said, I will push you away. And he acknowledged it and said, well, when you start to push me away, I'll know not to take you seriously or something. I don't know what he said, but he acknowledged it and didn't seem to. So the first time I pushed him away, I can't really remember what I said, but I know I was like, it's too much, it's too heavy, because there are all these feelings, and I have attachment problems. It goes back to my dad. It's another video for another time. And I remember I wanted him back, and I went to this laundromat, and I met him at the laundromat. And he told me I'd done a brave thing, because I met him there. I didn't think it was that big of a thing, but okay. And I was just always so anxious. Like, does he really like me? And then he wouldn't text for days, and I wouldn't hear from him. It just drove me insane. He wasn't taking me out. I was just like, is he embarrassed of me? Which that goes through another relationship who was embarrassed of me. So I wrote this terrible letter. Terrible letter. Told him to pick up his shit, get out of my house. And if I could take that day back, one, the day I wrote the letter, and two, the day he picked up all his shit. It's never the same after that. Never. I could never get back to sweet Matt. Sweet Trevor. I could never get back to him. And he used it against me so much. And finally, when I was in New York for a job, I said to him, like, you can't be held hostage by your emotions. You have to let that go. I've tried for almost a year to prove to you. But he couldn't do it. So because Trevor's an addict, and I knew this going into it, but I was okay with it because he told me it was clean. I think I put him into another relapse because he was so heartbroken over that letter. He has the prettiest blue eyes, and those blue eyes were so bright, but they were so full of pain, and I'm convinced I put him in this relapse because we would have like a good day, a good night together. And I wouldn't see him for a long time. Anyway, me playing Monday morning quarterback, putting everything together. There was a time in March where he disappeared for 3 weeks. He'd never done that. And he was gone. I didn't know where he was. And I'm convinced he was out of Bender. And to make matters worse, his substance of choice is meth. And looking at what he did, I think he was trying to hide it from me because he knew I wouldn't put up with that. My uncle went to prison for drugs. My cousin died from drugs. I have another cousin in prison for drugs. I hate drugs. I mean, I smoke a little weed, but... So anyway, he's been using meth and living with another girl. Guess I'll share those stories for another video.